us, too. The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person. And that's a bad combination. I swear, I hear from Donald Trump more than I hear from most of my uncles. And the funniest part is, Trump thinks I don't like this. He thinks it's conduct. What we're forgetting, I keep forgetting it, and I have to keep reminding myself, is he's not just running for president. He's running to stay out of prison.
Did you hear about Trump's latest meltdown? The orange man child is at it again, folks, this time. He's throwing a tantrum over Jimmy Kimmel's jokes. Can you believe it? Trump's calling late-night hosts morons and threatening TV networks' late-night comedians for giving illegal campaign contributions to the Democratic Party in the form of jokes and on-air satire. It's like watching a toddler have a meltdown in the candy aisle, but don't worry, we've got all the juicy details right here. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. All right, folks, it's time to grab your popcorn and settle in for the latest episode of Grumpy Trumpy Late Night Meltdown. Our favorite orange-tinted ex-president is at it again. And this time he's got his tiny fingers in a twist over some late-night comedy. Picture this, it's the middle of the night, and while most of us are catching some ZS, old Donny Diapers is wide awake, furiously tapping away on Truth Social. What's got him so riled up, you ask? Well, it seems Seth Meyers has struck a nerve, and Trump's not taking it lying down. Unlike his usual horizontal position in front of the TV in a move that surprises absolutely no one, Trump's unleashed a barrage of insults at Meyers, calling him marble mouth. Meyers and a real creative there, Donny, but wait, there's more. Our thin-skinned former commander-in-chief didn't stop at just insulting Meyers. Oh no, he went full toddler tantrum and declared that watching Meyers makes him feel obligated to point out how dumb and untalented he is. Does someone need their blankie? But hold on to your hairpieces, folks, because Trump's not done yet. He's decided to take on the entire late-night crew. It's like he's playing insult bingo and he's going for a full house. He's called Jimmy Kimmel one of the dumbest human beings ever. Pot meet kettle, Kimmel's a loser. Look, we would do Jimmy, I do. Jimmy K, I did him a lot. Labeled Stephen Kohler a total loser and dismissed Jimmy Fallon as weak and pathetic. Wow, Trump's really flexing those vocabulary muscles, isn't he? That, and just when you thought it couldn't get any more ridiculous, Trump's now threatening TV networks. That's right, he's telling Comcast they should pay a big price for this perceived slight. I think that it would be so un-American if he were to come after people who are speaking out against him, who we're shaking in our boots. Not really. It's like watching a toddler threaten to hold their breath if they don't get their way. What we're forgetting, I keep forgetting it, and I have to keep reminding myself, is he's not just running for president, he's running to stay out of prison. Spoiler alert, nobody cares, Donny. And but here's the kicker: while Trump's throwing his little hissy fit, the late-night hosts are having a field day. They are turning his rants into comedy gold, proving once again that laughter is the best medicine for dealing with political absurdity. It's like Trump's providing them with an endless supply of material. At this rate, he might as well apply for a job as a comedy writer. There's probably no late-night host who gets under Donald Trump's skin more than Jimmy Kimmel. In part 2 of my sit-down interview with the comedian, he talked about that. Looks like Jimmy Kimmel's not about to let Trump have the last laugh, while our orange Friend is busy throwing a tantrum on Truth Social. Kimmel serving up some comedy gold that's got everyone in stitches. In his latest monologue, Kimmel took aim at Trump's cabinet picks, and boy did he hit the bullseye when a Newsmax guest tried to compare Trump's selections to the Founding Fathers. Kimmel fired back with a zinger that had the audience rolling. I swear I hear from Donald Trump more than I hear from most of my uncles, and the funniest part is Trump thinks I don't like this. He thinks, but I love this. The Three Stooges is more like it, he quipped. I mean, can you imagine Washington, Jefferson, and Franklin running around poking each other in the eyes? Actually, on second thought, that might explain a lot about our current political situation. Fill his cabinet spot. Some of the spots he never even filled, but this time the clown car is filling up fast. That's how it goes in the Trump White House. Kimmel wasn't done yet. He took a swipe at Trump's choice of Dr. Ounce for Medicaid and Medicare, asking what the WWF is going on here. It's like Trump's playing some weird game of celebrity bingo with his cabinet picks. What's next? Appointing the Kardashians to run the Federal Reserve. You show up crammed into a little VKS wagon, and you leave under a bus, and you will not believe some of the people he wants to hire in a twist that nobody saw coming. Kimmel found himself agreeing with none other than Marjorie Taylor Greene the first. No, I know it sounds like the setup for a bad joke, but hear me out. MTG suggested that if her colleagues wanted to release Matt Gaetz's ethics report, they should let it all hang out and release everyone's dirty laundry, including sexual harassment and assault claims. Gaetz, as you may know, is under investigation by the House Ethics Committee, looking into allegations of illicit drug use and sexual misconduct. Kimmel's response: great, do that, let the cheeseburgers fall where they may. He even added, if we're going to dance, let's all dance in the sunlight. Who knew Kimmel was such a fan of transparency in Congress? While the Pizzagate gang is going to be furious about this, I'm sure, aren't they? What the team he's putting together, it's the Legion of Dumb. Or maybe he just really wants to see some politicians busting out their dance moves in broad daylight. Either way, it's a win-win for comedy, but the comedian saved his sharpest jab for Matt Gaetz. Kimmel couldn't resist taking a shot at the controversial congressman, saying recess is where Congress temporarily suspends its proceedings. It's also where Matt Gaetz finds his girlfriend's gator for sex trafficking on raid. Girls would hurt your chance for advancement, but in the Trump administration you can list on your resume under special skills. Ouch. That's got to sting more than a Florida sunburn. Well, folks, it looks like Trump's master plan to silence the late-night jesters has backfired spectacularly. I'm an optimistic person. I'm not hysterical. I laugh when people say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. Federal equal time rule to declare that anti-Trump material broadcast by Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and others was somehow illegal. Instead of shutting the up, he's handed them a comedy gold mine on a silver platter. It's like he's the world's most generous comedy writer, except he doesn't know he's doing it. Us to the fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person, and that's a bad combination. He tried to pressure Disney because of your jokes. He believes CBS should have their license revoked. Kimmel and his late-night pals are having a field day with Trump's antics. They are comparing his cabinet picks to the Three Stooges. For crying out loud, it's like watching a political circus where the clown and chief keeps tripping over his own big red shoes. In the report says at least 2 calls were made from the Trump White House to, quote, convey the President's anger regarding Kimmel's monologue, but cut out the part where he makes fun of me at the Oscars, then he mashes out the message with his thumb knobs and hits. So grab your popcorn and get comfy, because this late-night comedy show is far from over. The more Trump rants, the more material he gives these comedians. It's the circle of late-night life, and Trump's right in the middle of it, spinning like a orange top.